Welcome back to the July Creator Challenge. It is where I've committed to challenging myself to record one video a day for the whole 31 days of July. And today is day 4, which is July 4th. If you're in America, happy Independence Day, happy July 4th. The whole point of me doing these videos is to embrace the vulnerability, embrace the discomfort of not having a script. I've got 2 rules. The first rule being I can't have a script, only an outline. And 2, the topics are really spontaneous. The topics are either a ChatGPT journal prompt or your questions that you comment or send in to me. So if you haven't sent your questions already, be sure to do so, because I really want to connect with this amazing community that we're building here. But with all that said, it's day 4, and today's journal prompt is reflect on your current rhythm of work and rest. Are you allowing yourself adequate time for rest and rejuvenation? How do you feel when you're well rested compared to when you are not? What changes can you make to ensure that you are honoring that rhythm of rest and work in your life? If I'm honest with you, which I believe that's a pillar of what I stand for, I'd love to lean into one of those core values, which is the rhythm of rest. So what is the rhythm of rest? It's this concept that I came up with, you could say, because I've been a drummer since I can remember, but really focusing on drumming since 2016. There's this beautiful concept in music of how there's a tempo. You've got this steady pace of a set song, whatever that song may be, and within that steady pace, you can be slower or faster than it seems. And I feel like our lives are a lot like that. There is a steady pace, there is a heartbeat, a rhythm that each of us are beating at and going at. And at the same time, there's times that we're slower. There's times that we're leaning into rest and self-care and rejuvenation. And then there's times that we're leaning into our work. There's times that we're leaning into the passion of what we're going after. And I believe there's this beautiful dance. There's a beautiful rhythm of life that if you're seeking extreme balance of work and rest, I feel like you're not going to ever achieve that, friend. And if I'm honest, I think that I've made it such a mission to help others with rest, because I myself, this is something that I continue to work on daily. That's why I lean into this core value. And I'm so passionate about prioritizing leisure, Sabbath rest, because I've learned the hard way that rest will find you rather in discipline or delight. And when we have the delight of rest, when we have the discipline to schedule vacations, to have these micro rests within our schedule, then we will see a flourish. We will be our most effective and efficient and whole self, living fulfilled, living a purpose-driven life, not living a life full of overwhelm and anxiety and overwork. And if we don't have that discipline, then our bodies will force us into it. Burnout will catch up with you. Losing sleep will catch up with you. Going hard in the paint 25/8 will catch up with you, friend. Hustle culture is toxic. So let me do that check-in of my current rhythm. It couldn't be better that it's July 4th, and I still find myself struggling with letting go of work sometimes. I mean, even today, I woke up and I wanted to record this video much sooner than I am now. And it was a battle in my mind to lay it down for a few hours so I could focus on being with my family. And when I'm done now with this video, I will go and be with my family even more. And I really feel like that's important. And another great example of recently, we went to Universal Studios in Orlando. It was such a great time. Me and my wife, it was our first trip without our kids since having our second child. So it was really important for us to have this time alone. And I can remember we were getting into our lunch, which we ate at probably the best restaurant that you can eat at and for lunch in Universal. And I received a text that was something about work that I've been working on. And immediately I went into how can I fix it? And even though I couldn't do anything because we were thousands of miles away from my laptop or any way that I could do it, it took my mind for a moment. If it wasn't for my wife saying something like, hey babe, we're on vacation, it can wait. Did you let them know that you're on vacation? And if it wouldn't have been that and me remembering what I've been learning in all of this to change and direct my focus, it could have completely robbed my rest. That would have been no one else's fault but my own. And it made me think how much of our lives we're robbing ourselves out of the beautiful moments, the beautiful interruptions, the beautiful time to slow down because we're allowing our schedules to run us. We don't run our schedules. We've got to take ownership in that. We must work to rest or we will be living overwhelmed, overworked, and overbooked. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Be present in the now. It may feel like such a juvenile concept. I mean, this whole video today can feel like such a basic, but I really feel like God's been working on me heavy in this idea of mastering the basics, building this foundation that is rock solid, and doing so to build a life worth following, a legacy worth remembering. What if you could become more by doing less? Are you chasing busyness and hustling, but why? What for? What is another dollar for you? What is another missed game, missed opportunity with your family? Is it really worth it? What would happen if you got still and quiet long enough for God to speak to you? I know you may be saying, Red, I've never heard the voice of God. Is it booming? Is it like that? That's wild to me. This is a wild concept. And I would encourage you, if you really want to hear from God, I would answer you with a question and ask you, when was the last time that you got quiet, still, and undistracted enough to hear what He is saying? God is always speaking, friend, but are you listening? Are we listening? Now, I'm not going to speak for too long in today's video. I definitely wanted to post a little shorter today and just encourage you with that idea of stepping into the rhythm of rest. And I want you to reflect on these questions and even this journal prompt itself, because it's so important for us to go out and be present today. It's so easy for us to get so bogged down and tunnel visioned on our goals and our dreams that we miss those that we've been praying for all of our life. I really want to encourage you with that. And it's so important for us to get quiet and get still and prioritize rest, because without rest, we are not going to show up our best self. Without understanding that some seasons will be go, 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 and other seasons will be slow, slow, slow. And understanding that there's an ebb and flow of both, and there's a necessary need for both. But don't just shrug it off and say it's only going to be temporary when you're over your head in work. The thing that I love to do is these micro rest. And you're probably thinking, Red, what's a micro rest? So for me, I think of how is there some point in my day then I can carve out at least 10 minutes to do something that rejuvenates me. And if that doing something is taking a nap, then I'm going to take a nap. That's not mine personally, but it may be yours at home. It's just a great example. But for me, what's really going to make me come alive again is having moments of working out. I really do enjoy working out, or it's a cold plunge or a cold shower for me. Taking those moments to remember to breathe. Like I've been doing the Wim Hof method of breathing. And it's amazing how when we take a moment to push away the distractions, to push away the work, to push away all the things that are coming at us left and right, social media, and we just get quiet and we get still and we focus on something that is going to rejuvenate us, focus on something that is going to bring us alive. It's amazing what will happen. And I don't even think it's a luxury. You're probably thinking, oh, Red, you're a stay-at-home dad. You've got plenty of time to do all this. And honestly, I don't. And I'm sure you listening at home don't. You might not even have time to watch a ton of videos. So you even committing to watching these videos for me means a lot. And I hope that you are getting encouraged by these messages. And with that said, I really want you to go back, think of those questions. Think if you're just being busy for the sake of being busy, if you're just chasing more for the sake of being more, but truly, what is the impact, the influence, and the legacy that you can build or live that you are leaving? Because that's what's going to matter most. The time that you spent with your children is going to matter most. The time that you spent with your wife, the time that you spent with those that you were called to lead is what's going to matter more than any spreadsheet, any dollar, any number amount that you were chasing. It's about serving the person in front of you. and leaning into first taking care of what you need to take care of you so that you can better take care of others. As always, I love you. I'm praying for you, and I can't wait to see you in tomorrow's video.